Hi, I'm Laura Lunn-Bates. I'm the Labour Party candidate for Cambridge Ward. So I'm 26. I currently am at Edge Hill University studying biology. I was born and bred in Southport. I grew up here. I went to Lineker Primary School and Greenbank High School. And I remember weekends and holidays at the 2p machines at Funland and on the rides at Pleasureland. And it was a really great place to grow up. But what kind of got me into politics was the tuition fees issue. When I was a teenager, I wrote to my MP because I was worried about tuition fees and the lifelong debt that would bring. And I was told that if Lib Dems got into power, that they would wipe tuition fees. That didn't happen. I was lied to. And ever since then, I've been an avid campaigner and have campaigned across the country, and I was actually elected to the National Executive Committee of the NUS. And since then I've campaigned on issues from housing to a Green New Deal, and locally in a group called Southport Against Racism. I think there are a multitude of issues that matter to people within Cambridge Ward, and what might matter to me as a 26-year-old will be completely different to what matters to an elderly person. But what I would say is all these issues stem from over 10 years of Tory austerity. Outside our ward, we see empty streets on the high street. In our ward, we see families that are struggling between paying rent and paying for food, having to rely on food banks and baby banks. And this should not be the case. And we have elderly residents who, in COVID, have not been able to see their families. They've not been able to hug loved ones. And their TV has been their lifeline to the wider community. But yet the Tories have scrapped the over 75 TV licence, and this should not be the case. And lastly, we're seeing public transport being used for profit. We're seeing bus companies axe routes that aren't giving them enough profit, which means that residents go without public transport. And again, this should not be the case. We should have public transport in the hands of the public, not for profit. People should vote for me as a Labour councillor in Cambridge Ward because I will provide a fresh, dynamic voice for change. You've never had a Labour councillor in Cambridge Ward before, and for too long now we've had Lib Dems and Tories play party politics with your issues. It's time for that to change. We need a brand new voice, and I will listen, because what issues matter to you matter to me, because it's about us as a community coming together and fighting. And whether you care about potholes, housing, elderly social care, or even just keeping the streets clean, I will listen to what matters to you, because we've seen in this pandemic how people have come together and fought for each other, and I'll do that. I'll fight for you if I'm elected as your councillor. Vote Labour on May the 6th.